Hey, what's going on, guys? I just wanted to make this video for anyone who's ever been curious onto how like musicians like take something that's like just like a simple melody or a simple lyric or even like a simple drum track or whatever it may be, how it goes from something as from the starting process to the finished process, right? So how does it go from a melody, a track or whatever it may be into a symphony, into an actual full-fledged song? And every musician, kind of writes their own music and they kind of just dabble in certain things here and there. And I guess when I was starting up with my music, I was always curious as to how, like, where to even begin. How is it that like all these artists and bands can create such a great song, or how does it even begin? So I started writing music over the last, throughout the years of my music career. And yeah, I've been playing music for the last, I would say, 17 years. So I know a thing or two, right? So for me, it usually starts, I hear a melody in my head, whether I'm just humming it or whatever it may be. And I'll either do it on guitar or on piano or whatever other instrument that I hear in my mind. And I go from that, and then I go to and then like I'll find a drum to it. Do I want it to be a faster song, or do I want it to be a slow track, a ballad? Do I want it to be a pop ballad? Do I want it to be a blues song, a rock song, or a rock ballad, or whatever genre I think would best fit that song? And not just because of the melody, but more like the emotion of the song, right? So I'll do that, and after that, I'll just start putting the pieces together. So, for instance, right, this is one song that I've been working on, and it's called "I Wish I Had Never Met You." And it's a definitely an emotional song, but it's not that like sad, right? It's not that heavy. And so I started just humming it, and I was listening to this song and that song, and I was listening to, what I try to imagine what kind of artist like I am, or where if I was, super famous, what kind of artist would I be? And I went from, I look at, for instance, right now the song that I worked on is on piano, but it can be interchangeable to guitar. But I like it more on piano. It started on guitar, then I originally went to piano, then eventually I went to piano. So I said, okay, like whose style should I emulate, or what musician spirit should I embody? So I'm looking at, Nat King Cole. I'm looking at, the Frank Sinatras. I know he wasn't a piano player, but still, like that's the same, that crooner style. But I felt like it was too crooner-ish, right? It was very old-timey, which is, again, it has its time and place. Then I try to mix that old school style with like modern day piano, artists like John Legend, Alicia Keys, and then I kind of try to find a hybrid of that, or like go straight to the jazz world, right? So Cole Porter, you have Gregory Porter, you have Harry Connick Jr., and then you have people who embody kind of a little mix of that. Someone like Amy Winehouse, and I was kind of just see which one whose spirit or spirits I wanted to emulate. In this case, it's just this video is just to show you guys, before I'm rambling on, I'm just telling you guys my music story, but I kind of just want to like show you how, like, what the music process, how it starts. So for example, I have this piano, and this piano has different tones. Like for piano tones, I can go electronic, I can go, it plays brass piano, it plays, salsa piano, things like that. But it also has drum tracks built in. And these drum tracks, they different style: blues, pop, jazz, dance, whatever, country, whatever it may be, even Latin. So I usually mess around with those drum tracks, and I just go back and forth, and I'm clicking through them, and I'm switching through them. I'm like, that's not right, that's not right. And once I find something that I like, then I have to adjust the tempo and the key of the song. So in this case, this song's in the key of A, and that not necessarily, it doesn't really say like, oh, this song is like in the key of A, so I have to, what that tells me is like what chords kind of meld with it, right? Which ones fit in with it. And I usually use something called what they have, like the cross chord method. I learned it from harmonica, so it's cross harmonica. So in other words, you jump three chords, right? So if you start with an A, which is the key of A, you skip 3 chords, B, C, and on D. So the A and the D chord, they melt together. So then you jump more chords, you go D, E, F, G on the, you can mix a G chord, right? Now, technically you can mix any kind of any chords together, obviously, right? All the songs do that, but it's just it gives me an idea of where to begin. So that's how I start. And then once the drum track actually goes in, once I find the drum track or the chords, vice versa, whatever it may be, I start mixing things here and there. So this song called "I Wish I Had Never Met You," it's I kind of want to show you guys how I started when I first came up with the song, like what the melody was and what it became eventually once it became a full-fledged song, and how like I'm listening and trying to be on beat or on the right count with the drum track, and I'm kind of adjusting the tempo. And most of the time, you would most artists put like their beats per minute, your drum track, right? Like at 120, 140, 160, 180, right? Always on an even number, or even 100 or 80, depending on how slow the song is or how fast it is. But I was like, I think the true professionals, they really, they want, like, for instance, if I'm playing at 100 beats per minute, I think some artists, they'll even go to 90 or 95. Or, and I know like, professional drummers are much, some of them are really good at doing that. Some of them are saying that's all bullshit, right? But so I was just I just played with the tempo, and I increase it, decrease it until I hit that sweet spot. And so for this song, right, I adjusted the tempo to 97 beats per minute, which is very specific. I understand that. And then after playing with the tones, I found one that kind of spoke to me in terms of the lyrics of the song. So I have the blues setting for my piano, and which is a jazz setting, or interchangeable blues jazz, right? So technically it's labeled blues, and I have a 97 beats per minute. So the chords are an A, then I have a B minor, then I have a C sharp minor, back to B minor. So the way I started it, I just did something like this, which is just an A on the left side of the piano, like A1 or A2, whatever you want to refer to it. Then I play the actual chord. It started off super slow. Then I went to B and B minor, C sharp minor, B minor, on a 4 count, right? So that's the second one, 3 and 4. And I said, you know what? That's a little too slow. That's more like the spirit of Adele, right? Things like that. So I started just picking up the tempo and messing with it. So I started doing something like this. That didn't work out, right? So I was like, that doesn't sound too good either. So I started speeding up to see if I wanted a slow or a fast song. And then eventually I went to something like this. So if you're ever curious onto how, like, what the buildup of a song is, this is what it is. So you go from, so it's A, B minor, C sharp minor, and back to B minor. So I started something like this. Just so you guys have an example, this is what it is. So I did this. So once I figured out the chord structure, I went to, okay, now can I be on point and on beat with the drum track as well? So I incorporated the once I actually added the drum track. So this might be a little loud, so I'm gonna stop talking, and I'm gonna show you guys just without me talking how everything came together and how my mind is going. So this isn't like the finalized song, but this is something that you can see the build up and the interchangeability of how songs adapt and how artists think like, maybe if I play on this side, then I add some of this or add some of that, or take this out, or go faster, or go slower, whatever it may be. It's and how things become finalized. So you'll see that as I go. So here goes. So I'm gonna hit play on the drum track. It's gonna be a little loud. I apologize, but that's the point. I want you guys to hear it. So here goes. One, two. Something like that, guys. So I know this is a very long video, but you see the buildup in the different range and adding the drum track, and at the end, taking out the drum track. And I'm playing the same chords all across the piano, just in my own unique style. So that's my personal style that I've learned, that I've developed over time. That's my playing style. So for instance, some people, I look at, I don't really remember like what like A1, A2, or C1, C2, or middle C. Like, whenever you're learning piano, I don't see it that way. Honestly, I just memorize shapes. That's what I've always done, even on guitar. Like, I played guitar for the last 17 years, piano for the last 13, and I can't read a note. I can't read a note, but it's like if you tell me the chord, I'm like, oh yeah, it's this shape. That uses these 4 fingers, or it feels like this. So it's just muscle memory, what it is. So, and there's been times where I didn't play piano for, I don't know, maybe 3, 4 months. I come back to it and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember. That's how you play a B chord. That's how you play a C sharp minor. I just, without even having to Google it or whatever, I just go into it and I just memorize the shapes. That's what it is. And also by the sounds, right? So it's like, again, being a guitar player, the piano it sounds very similar. The chords they sound exactly the same. So I would just go into things like that. And but yeah, guys, I just wanted to give you some insight onto how a song is made and possibly produced. Since at a most basic level, obviously I'm not a sound engineer. I don't have a mixing board. This is just a guy in his room, from square one, just fiddling around with the piano. And obviously the lyrics that you heard me sing aren't set in stone, but it's just me. And even then, like, as I was singing it, I realized that I changed some of the lyrics, or I even forgot some. I was like, you know what? I kind of didn't like this line. Let me try this line instead. So that if you heard me kind of like hesitate for a second, it's because I was thinking. So, and you see me kind of get into it and close my eyes and let the muse of music take me over and kind of lead me, right? So yeah, guys, I just wanted to show you guys the introduction. This is a very introductory video, and for those who are beginners, this is like, once you start developing, you start gaining these kind of skills and functions, right, in terms of music. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and you guys really enjoyed, just learning with me alongside. And I hope you guys enjoyed my song too. I mean, I've never put out a song like this before, so it's just, again, just things that I've been fiddling around with. And yeah, I hope you guys like this. Don't forget to like and subscribe, or comment down below if you guys want to see more videos like this. I understand like you guys can't see my piano because just the way my camera is angled, right? But I feel like this is a good view. It's like you get depth of perception, right? So let the camera focus, the ambient lighting and everything. So it's just one of those things. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and thank you for watching.